Hello everyone. Well, it's not often that I film a video on the day I upload it or on the day I receive a vacuum cleaner. But it is Friday, the 17th of January, 2025. This arrived about 20 minutes ago. This is a Sebo in all but name. It's an Ensign SM1 and I got this for the grand total of £100 delivered, or if you're watching in the USA, at the current exchange rate, about $122. It had a buy it now price for £350. Nobody bought it now, and you could bid on it. So the starting bid was £100. I bid on it, nobody else did. So I got this for £100. I have undone the seal. I've had a quick peek, and it does look as described. It was described as brand new and unused, and I've nothing to believe that it isn't brand new and unused. And it'd be interesting to see, it does have an energy label. Do you remember those, folks? They didn't last long, did they? So, but I think it's a higher wattage than the current machines, because I think it could be, I don't know, it's not pre-EU regulations, but it's probably in the first phase of the EU regulations. So this is branded Diversey, which are a cleaning company, Ensign SM1. So it's basically a Sebo Essential G. You can still buy that, I believe, in the USA. You might find this under the Windsor brand as well in other countries, especially the USA, maybe Canada. So pretty basic instructions. So yeah, it seems okay. We've got miscellaneous provisions written down here. That's nothing very interesting. Or parts list. You'll still be able to buy parts for all these cleaners. Right, just some warnings that I don't need to look at myself. Look, here's the energy label. Crikey, this takes me back. So this Ensign SM1 gets a D for energy use, using on average 43.3 kilowatt hours per annum. It gets a C rating for emissions, a B rating for carpets. It's not suitable for hard floors, although it is. 82 decibels. So yes, this is the first wave of the EU regulations, because now it's 80 decibels maximum for a domestic vacuum cleaner, although this is a commercial cleaner, so I'm not sure if it comes under the same jurisdiction. But yeah, that's a blast from the past, isn't it? So what do we have? Well, being a commercial grade cleaner, we have a high-visi cord. This cord and handle would fit an X series domestic cleaner. Not sure if it'd fit an X7. I can't see why it wouldn't. But yeah, you've got the handle with a thumb operated on-off switch, and of course a moulded on plug. Then we have the hose and wand, so the stretchy hose built into the wand. It's actually locked in the open position at the moment, so we need to press that button there so it can retract inside the wand for storage. Ah, it's that old, folks. I'll go upstairs actually and get a fleece bag, although these were pretty good, the paper bags. They're at least a double skin, double layer. And even with the paper bags, the genuine Sebo paper bags, they were still pretty good at filtering. But I think I prefer to use the new fleece style bags, a little bit stronger. But yeah, that's a spare one. I assume there will be one fitted to the cleaner. Let's try and get this out without damaging the polystyrene. Well, that's remained in one piece. So has that. Here's the bag assembly. So it's in this sort of matte finish plastic. It's very, very durable matte finish with orange highlight colours. And oh yeah, I was going to say, I thought it would come with a crevice tool, it's just fallen off. So with this machine you just get the crevice tool and the upholstery nozzle. You can buy many other optional tools for this cleaner, of course. Yep, all looks fine and dandy, definitely brand new and unused. Yep, bag fitted. So let's pop that to one side. And then we have the main head. Yes, all the polystyrene. Oh no, it has cracked. I don't know if I've ever opened a Sebo without damaged polystyrene, but as long as it does its job and protects the cleaner. So for £100, pretty pleased with this. It is definitely new and unused. Cheapest way of buying a Sebo, and especially if you don't want a Sebo with the automatic height adjustment. A lot of people don't like it, and I've recently got an X4 Extra in red. You might have seen a picture of that if you follow me on social media. That was advertised as brand new and not used, but it wasn't. I did get a substantial discount off that when I discovered it had been used. It was still in pretty good condition. This one though, and I personally prefer it, I like to be able to choose the height setting. So we have a 4-position height control on here. We do have some sort of computerized control to show you when the bag is full or there is a clog, and you've got to check brush light. So basically, if you were to clean a short pile carpet or carpet tiles with the machine on the highest setting, this light would come on and tell you to lower it. But it also comes on if you obstruct the brush. So if you pick up something you shouldn't and the brush jams, the machine will automatically switch off and the check brush light will illuminate. I'm not sure if I was saying it tells you when it's too high a setting. I'll just have to check that. It certainly does on the Felix and the ET1 Powerhead supplied with the cylinder models. But you can turn it either way. So instead of the little motor, servo motor, that's in the automatic cleaners, it's manual. So it won't move at the moment, it'll only move up and down when it's in the working position. We'll have a look at that in more detail, but it's a very nice finish. This doesn't scratch because it's a matte finish, so it won't show the scratches, and it won't show the scratches in my home because I look after my vacuum cleaners. This is a commercial cleaner and it will withstand commercial use. Right, that's everything out of the box. Let's get this cleaner assembled and switched on. The first thing we need to do is insert the bag housing onto the cleaner head. Make sure that this bit at the back is sticking up, and when you put the bag housing down, that doesn't go down. So this little plastic piece has to go in that hole there. And then we have two other holes here, which correspond with this assembly here. So this provides the suction from the motor with the little black grill on, and the other part of the fitment takes the dirt up into the bag assembly. So we just need to locate it carefully and correctly. Just have to make sure it's on. There we go. Push it down, jiggle it a bit. Now you have to push it down quite firmly until it clicks. So I'll stand up for this. It's not clicked. It seems to be attached. Let's check. Yep, that's fitted. If you want to take the cleaner apart for maintenance, or if you need to pack it back in its box, you just press on that button and then you can pull the bag housing off. I'll just push it down again just in case. Yeah, that's it. Definitely in place. Then we can connect the handle. So it only goes in one way. I'll first take the cable ties off. So pretty pleased with this for £100 or $122, including delivery. I mean, it would have gone for more than that if anyone else had been interested in it. You know, I did put a higher bid than 100. So this is a slightly different arrangement on these compared to the sort of lever you get with the other machines nowadays. That's it, you must make sure it's fully home, and then when it is, on this particular one, we just need to press down on this catch firmly and that holds the handle in place. You shouldn't really lift it by the handle. You do have a carry handle at the back to carry the machine. And then we've got the wand and the hose. So the hose fits into the top here, it just pushes down and you should hear a click. And then the wand goes into the back of the machine. So locate it there, and there's a little notch on the front. Can you see that little notch there? You must make sure that this is over the notch, like that. Then the hose is neatly stored inside. So then we just have to wind up the cable. So this is the lower cable hook. It swivels, so you can release the cable in one go. I think it's a 10-meter cable with this machine. But to wind the cable round, you need to make sure it's in the downward position. And the top cable hook is here, just behind the handle. So here's the Ensign SM1 fully assembled and ready to be switched on. So I've no qualms about this not working. I'm pretty sure this is a factory fresh machine. There's no hint that any dust has passed through this cleaner, so I'm quite happy about that. We'll have a quick guided tour and then I'll switch the machine on. Here's the underside of the cleaner, featuring Sebo's very aggressive stiff brush roll. You can obtain a softer brush roll for more delicate carpets or floors with green brushes, but this is a standard one. Excellent at grooming the carpet and for pet hair pickup. Here's the rating sticker, let's have a quick look at that. This is model Ensign SM1 Diversey, serial number C3010000, 240 volts, 50 Hz, 1100 watts, 10 amps, made in Germany. So yes, this is before the EU restricted the wattage to 900 watts. So current domestic X series uprights, I believe, are 890 watts. That's pretty standard across the Sebo range sold in the UK and Europe. They tend to go for 890 watts. I think the Felix is a bit less because you have to combine the wattage of the cleaner with the power head wattage. But yeah, so it's an 1100 watt machine, so it might have a bit more suction power than an 890 watt version that we can buy today. So there you go, that's a single adjustable wheel in the middle there. This plate comes off if you need to give it a bit of a clean. Just undo those two screws and you have further access. We can service the brush roll without any tools, and I'll show you that in a minute. We've also got a little access hatch here that you can open up to check for blockages, and of course if any blockage occurs in this part of the air path, you can remove the bag assembly completely as I showed you, and then you can have a good look, put down a flexible blunt instrument in case there's a blockage. So yeah, it's very robust. This would last many years in a domestic situation. So I'll show you how to take the brush roll out. As I've shown you, it's the same really as many Sebo uprights I've shown. There's a button here, just press that button and the end cap pops out, and then the brush roll comes out. No anti-hair wrap, none of those features you get on machines today, and even now Sebo don't have an anti-hair wrap brush roll. But this way it's so easy to clean. I mean, hairs, long hairs and fibres will wrap around this, but it's so easy to take out. You just take it out, get a pair of scissors, cut through the hairs, pick them off. You can clean that. Somebody said you can put this in the dishwasher. I personally wouldn't, but I have cleaned brush rolls like this, you know, in the sink. Just put a bit of washing up liquid on my hands and just rubbed it in, rinsed it thoroughly, gave it a good shake, and then I've left it overnight to dry. Don't put it back if there's any hint of water. Try not to get water on this part here, but if you do, I mean, you can just put a little dab of oil on that if you wanted to. So yeah, very easy to service. And of course the Sebos, you can buy the parts. You can get the parts, you can fix these. The parts aren't expensive and they're fairly easy to get hold of online. Unlike a certain other manufacturer that does charge, German manufacturer, that charges a lot for spares. and often it doesn't make it worth repairing the machine. If the spares are so expensive, you think, oh, I'll just buy a new one. Not very good for the environment, is it? So let's pop that back. There we go. So that's the brush roll, and as I mentioned earlier, we've got 2 indicator lights for the bag full or clog and the check brush. It's anti-allergy hospital grade S-class filtration, although the cleaner in this configuration wouldn't pass the new EU regulations for dust emissions, so that's why they had to redesign the X series and the commercial machines to incorporate an improved exhaust filter. I'll show you this one in a minute when I'll just reveal it to you. So again, the 4-position height control, easy to turn, even with the machine in the operating position. I'm going to try it on setting 4 initially on this carpet. I think setting 3 will be okay for my plush pile Saxony. So this is where the cleaner exhausts. So, and it is a replaceable filter. I don't think it's designed to be washed, but you could. Ah, that's right, yes. It's combined with this one, or is it? Hang on. No, I think it is separated from the filter grill. I'm not sure. It's very stiff. Oh, there it goes, yeah. You can take it out. So you can buy that as a spare. That will get black with carbon dust from the motors. All electric motors, standard brushed electric motors that have, you know, a standard commutator and the carbon brushes either side. Carbon dust is produced by motors when they're running, and that will go black mainly due to the carbon dust. It's unusual to find actual dust on these filters because the bag and the pre-motor filter does a good job of keeping dust away from the motor. So yeah, it's just all very well made. What a bargain I got for £100. I didn't need it, and I wasn't even looking for this. It's always the way with eBay. You're often not looking for anything specifically, you're just browsing. Let me see which way that goes in. I think it's that way. And I saw this and I thought, I had a feeling nobody would be interested in it, to be honest. And they weren't. Well, I think there was somebody else watching it, but they decided not to bid. So that's the exhaust filter. Let's look at the bag and the pre-motor filter. To access the bag, you just pull on this catch here. The bag door comes away along with the bag. Obviously the bag will be full when you replace it, and to replace it you normally get a little plastic cap, so you can cap the bag off to keep the dust in, and then you just squeeze it and dispose of the dirt. I'm going to replace the paper bag with a cloth bag, or fleece bag, excuse me. So these are the new style fleece bags, exactly the same fitting, and there's an arrow, 2 arrows on the top, so you just slide it in and it should click. If the bag isn't positioned correctly, or you try and use the machine without a bag, you won't be able to put the bag door back on the cleaner. So there you go. Oh right, I must have, oh yeah, of course, I couldn't find a spare bag, so I took this out of my X7 that I've got upstairs, and there's a Sebo air freshener in there. I could have put that in the bag compartment rather than inside the bag. Here is the filter, replaceable. It's all, yeah, of course it's not branded. It's not branded with Sebo. It is a Sebo, and if I was to look deeper, if I took the cover off of the motor cover, I would probably see Sebo, but it's a Sebo in all but name. So that's the long pre-motor filter, and there's a reason why it's this shape. That's where the suction comes from the motor. And again, you've got a fail-safe catch here, so you can't use the machine without a filter either. So even if you try and use it with the bag but without a filter, you still can't close the bag door. So it's a double fail-safe mechanism. I'm sure there's ways of getting around it, but why would you? Why would you attempt to use a bag cleaner without a bag or a filter? So basically the filter is this shape to maintain the suction. So if I just take the bag out again and position it, this is how it would roughly look with the bag door on. So because the filter isn't located at the bottom like so many upright cleaners of this type, you'd have the motor inlet with a filter on top. So as you're picking up dust and the bag fills, the motor is having to to suck through, the airflow is having to pass through loads of dirt. So it's going to reduce the efficiency. With this design of filter, it's not blocked at all. So the bag can fill up, and yet it's not restricting the airflow. This stays constant. Very clever design. So we'll pop the bag back in. Make sure it's the correct way. You can't put it the wrong way, it won't let you. There we are, and then that can just locate at the bottom. And providing the bag is fitted correctly, you'll be able to close the catch. On the back here we have the foot pedal to release the handle. So you just press this with your foot and lower the handle to the operating position, and also the handle is flexible, so it will go straight flat to floor if you want it to. But with this model, they've done away with this on the domestic models. I'm not sure if I think they may have done away with this feature on the commercial ones, which is a bit of a shame because it was a useful feature. This one has this little orange catch, so if you push it to that side, when you lower the handle, it will lock in the operating position, which enables you, if you're cleaning different surfaces, different flooring, different types of carpet, it enables you to lift the machine on its back wheel, so you can go over thresholds, or if you want to straighten the fringe of a rug, you could raise the machine head over the rug and then bring it back like that, and it would straighten the fringe. So it's a shame that Sebo decided to do away with that, and I did get a few comments. People weren't very happy about that small feature being done away with. So now, certainly, I think it's also on the commercial models, but certainly on all the domestic uprights, the X series, that feature is no longer included. So basically, if you want to lift it over a threshold, you'd have to use the carry handle. There's another carry handle here. You'd have to sort of lift it like that if you wanted to, or you'd have to wheel it on its back wheels like that. To release the 10-meter mains cable, we just turn the hook upwards like so, then just take the cable off in one go and we can plug it in. So yes, I can confirm it is 10 meters, it says so in the instruction book. I'll just make sure the machine is switched off before plugging it in. So fingers crossed it will work. This carpet hasn't been vacuumed for a few days, and I am supposed to be using the Hoover Breeze as vacuum of the month, and I have been using that most of the time, but I think my carpet could do with a bit more of a deeper clean than I'm getting with the Breeze. It's picking up dirt, but I don't think it's going to clean as effectively as this Ensign SM1. So I'm starting off on setting 4, and then I might lower it to setting 3 if I feel I can. So because there's no automatic height adjustment, I'm not having to wait for the machine to adjust. It's just going to be on the setting I've set using the dial on the side. Oh, right. It's telling me to check the brush. It's switched off. Now I hope this isn't faulty. That's why it was going cheap. The check brush light has illuminated. I'm hoping it's not illuminated because my carpet is too deep a pile. I mean, it's a Saxony plush. It is not a long pile carpet. But yeah, it was going very well. It was grooming the pile. It was easy to push, and I thought I can get away with setting 3 on this. But perhaps it was too high. But normally it doesn't. I don't think it turns itself off normally. Right, I'm going to try it on setting 3. Yeah, we'll just see what happens. So all I have to do is turn the machine off and then on again, and it should reset itself. Oh dear. It could just be the carpet. I mean, the carpet's looking very well groomed, but that's unusual. Let's just move it back to setting 4. I'll get my Sebo demonstration mat down actually and try it on that, which has a much lower pile. If I try and move the machine a bit quicker, maybe the sensor won't switch it off. I've gone back to setting 4. Oh no. Right, it could be the carpet, but I'm sure I've used my Essential G1, which is a very old video, although that was That was when I had my old carpet. I'm going to try this upstairs as well on the shorter pile carpet, but for the time being I'm just going to bring down my Sebo demonstration mat, and hopefully the check brush light isn't going to turn on. Oh, it was going so well. This must be a faulty unit. Yet it was all sealed. One wonders where people get these from. I had that on setting 2. Right, it's on setting 4 now, which is really a bit high for this particular mat. Very odd. I ended up on setting 1, which, you know, should be fine for this. I think this pile, it's not much of a pile, but I tend to do this on setting 2. Well, maybe it's just teething troubles. We're going to give it another go on the carpet. I'm going to go the opposite direction, because sometimes if you go against the pile or with the pile, I shouldn't be having to do this, of course, really. I would be getting a new living room carpet this year, but with 2 dogs that have decided that the living room is the best place to do their toilet, I don't really want to buy a new carpet just yet, unless I just go for quite a cheap carpet and just, I don't know folks, it seems a bit wasteful. This carpet is a nice carpet, it feels very nice underfoot, and it does clean up well with my Bissell Big Green, but many of my viewers will know it's a little bit problematic when it comes to certain vacuums. I'm going to again start on setting 4. We'll go in this direction though. Well, apart from this cleaner being a little bit oversensitive of my plush Saxony, it's really very good. Even on setting 4, I can see it lifting the pile. And unfortunately, my bright lights have highlighted that I need to get my Bissell Big Green out again this weekend and yet again clean my living room carpet. I don't know how many more cleans it's going to stand before it's going to fall to bits, but I'm going to keep cleaning it as much as I can until eventually a new carpet will have to be ordered, but I'm going to take time and care choosing the new carpet. I might even take some vacuums into the carpet showroom and try them out before I make my choice. But never, ever, ever will I buy a Saxony pile carpet again. You have my word on it, folks. I think the sort of pile that my mum has in her house, in her living room, and up the stairs, I think that sort of pile is a nice balance, and that's fine. I've done many demonstrations on my mum's carpet, the grey carpet, and all the vacuums are fine on it. They don't cut out. This wouldn't have cut out on it either. I'm going to try this around my house as well, check it on the carpets upstairs, but they're a very, very thin pile. They were fitted when this house was brand new, so I won't have any problems with that. It's a sturdy machine. I had no problems using the hose. Speaking of the hose, might as well do a suction test. See what the sealed suction is like at the end of the hose using my gauge. At 54, it's not the greatest sealed suction I've seen on a cleaner, but it's not bad for an upright, and certainly not bad for an upright with such an aggressive brush roll. The brush roll is doing a lot of the work with this machine. It's grooming the pile, it's picking up the pet tears and clinging litter, and it's passing it into the airstream, into the dust bag. But it's, you know, even with the tools, there was more than enough suction power. On this model, you have no ability to turn the power down. It's just fixed on or off. But for a domestic, even a commercial situation, the suction through the hose is more than adequate for your above floor cleaning. What I would say, and I would always recommend with a Sebo, whether it's a Felix or an X series upright, is to get the extension hose. Certain models come with it as standard. If yours doesn't, you can go onto sebo.co.uk or possibly other online sellers like Amazon and eBay, and you can buy an extension hose that fits onto the end here and really extends reach. You can clean up a full flight of stairs easily with the extension hose, and it just makes the machine easier to handle for doing your upholstery, etc. Bear in mind that this is a single motored vacuum, and the brush roll continues to rotate when you're using the tools, so be careful that no little hands get underneath here when you've got your back turned when you're using your hose. And also never run over the mains cable with a vacuum cleaner, an upright vacuum cleaner especially, because the rotating brush can damage the cable. I saw a negative review on John Lewis's website for a Sebo X Series upright, and basically the customer blamed Sebo that the fact that the cord was damaged because she ran her vacuum over it repeatedly. You don't do that. It will say in the instructions not to do that as well. So it's ridiculous to blame the manufacturer for, you know, user misuse, and she certainly misused it. She didn't understand the machine. It's quite annoying when you see those reviews. Back in the day when I was looking at vacuum instruction books, 70s, 80s, 90s, especially if it's an upright with rotating brushes, they all say, do not run the machine over the cable. Keep the cable out of the way when vacuuming. So normally, best practice, you hold the cable in one hand, away from the machine, and then use the machine, concentrating on where you're going. So to blame Sebo for them damaging the cable is ridiculous. But anyway, I was quite annoyed by that review. That lady needs a bit of a slap, really. We can't condone violence here. No, she just needed a stern talking to, and explaining that yes, of course, the rotating brush will damage the insulation of your electric cable. So don't do it, folks. Anyway, I've got to get this video uploaded, well, and edited, uploaded to the channel, make me thumbnail, blah, blah, today. So I'm going to start editing this video now. So I'm going to take out my SD card, pop it in my computer, fiddle about with everything I've recorded. You won't see every piece I've recorded, of course, because I do have to edit my videos. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned now. At the time of filming this video, I can tell you something for all of you people who have stayed. Thank you for staying to the end. So for staying to the end, you get this little snippet. I can't reveal much, but on Wednesday coming, so whatever date I said it was at the beginning of this video, I can't remember, but this Wednesday, following the video, I'm going to be revealing something to you that will excite a few of you, maybe many of you. I've been told not to reveal anything about it until it's available to buy, but it should be available to buy from Wednesday. But I'm being kindly sent this item or items to show you, but I won't be able to show you it before they're launched for you to buy, but at least I'll be able to show you them in a video, and you can go over to the website if you want to buy one or two or three, because it is a selection of things that, well, I can't say any more, but just tune in on Wednesday, folks. It might not be at my normal time, it might be sooner. So there's something to look forward to, especially if you're a fan of a particular brand. I've said too much. I've said too much. I can't say anything else, but it's well worth waiting for. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all, well, definitely on Wednesday, but maybe a bit sooner than that if I can cobble together another video for Monday. But if not, you will definitely be hearing from me again on Wednesday. So until then, thanks for watching. Thumb me up, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. And I'll see you all very soon. Bye for now.